Been working this breaking story since this afternoon, and here's what we know at this hour. Police shot one man after a car crash on I-440. Tonight, police have not released that man's condition. The SBI is now leading the investigation into the shooting.
CBS 17's Sean Cudahy is live for us tonight in Raleigh with the very latest from police and eyewitnesses and the problems this caused well into the evening out there on the Beltline.
Hey, Ron and Angela, we showed you those images at 5 and 6 o'clock. The Beltline here was tied up. Traffic at a standstill at times this afternoon. A very different situation here tonight at 11 o'clock. The police, within the last couple hours, have gone. They were here for much of the night, though, after a situation today that tied up traffic again for hours. Traffic on 440 stayed at a crawl much of the night as police remained on scene in the right westbound lanes investigating the aftermath of a crash and an officer-involved shooting. Sky I-17 shows the damage to multiple vehicles after the wreck around 1:30 this afternoon. Raleigh Police Chief Estella Patterson says people who called 911 reporting the crash mentioned a man at the scene who they said appeared to be intoxicated and armed with a knife.
The officers approached this individual.
The chief says officers ordered the man to put the knife down. They say he did not, so police tased him. Then,
as the officers attempted to take the subject into custody, the individual swung the knife towards officers. One officer fired shots at that subject, and this is the information that we have at this point.
And that was it. No other details from the chief, no word on the man's condition or on what happened next. But 16-year-old Hunter Marin,
it really scared me.
Told CBS 17 by phone he saw it.
As soon as the shots were fired, that's when havoc broke loose and everybody started speeding away and going crazy.
All afternoon, during and after evening rush hour, the investigation near the Brentwood exit snarled traffic on 440. Some reporting on social media they waited for a couple hours. Meanwhile, the chief did have this to say.
I do stress and want to say that I want to wait till we have all the information before making any decisions or before making any statements concerning whether the shooting was justified or not justified. We just don't have all that information at this time.
Well, the chief took just a few questions at her briefing tonight. As you can imagine, we have a lot more we want to ask. Now, also tonight, both the SBI and Raleigh Police Internal Affairs both conducting investigations. Live in Raleigh, Sean Cudahy, CBS 17 News.
Sean, we heard the chief mention that there was a young child with the man who was shot by the Raleigh police officer. Do we know how that child's doing? Was this his child? Any new information on this?
Angela, what the chief shared with us is that this child, yes, was at the scene, a toddler-age child, and that as this situation escalated and was unfolding, a woman who was also at the scene was able to get that child away from the immediate, threatening situation that was going on here. So that child was not harmed as part of this shooting today.
Thank goodness for that, Sean. Thank you. You've done